Well, welcome to everyone, no matter where you're calling in from. We're happy you're here. We're happy that you're a part of this session. Um, we've now branded it as the What's New session. And yes, the K is on purpose. That's not a typo. If you were able to see our launch video, we did a whole Friends theme. I think it was Friends, right? So it was a Friends theme launch. We're going to continue to do different television shows for our themed launches. So as as we continue to launch things, let us know if there's TV shows that you want to see us weave into our product launches. We definitely want your feedback there. That's really important for us. But if you've been with us before, you know that we do launches on a quarterly basis. So today we're going to talk through some of the features and functionality that was released over the past 3 months. So just a quick overview of what our plan is for today. We're going to learn about I even threw in a bonus fourth feature that we're going to talk that we recently launched. You'll have a chance to experience each feature with a demo or a video. 3 of them will be with a video. 1 of them will be a quick demo. Then we'll ask you for a little bit of input on your end. I have a couple questions seeded in through this deck that I want to hear from you. My colleague Sydney and my colleague Jason want to hear from you and hear how you're using some of the Guru functionality that we've released. And then I'll have some time to answer some frequently asked questions, but also answer some questions that you may have and may write in to the chat. So just some quick housekeeping. First off, I'm Eli. I'm the customer enablement manager here. I'm focused on making sure that you know how to use the full scale of the Guru product and can get everything out of the Guru product that you're looking to get. Across from me, and we're just going to go on a quick selfie tour right here. That's Sydney. She's the Robin to my Batman, the Costanza to my Seinfeld. She's my sidekick here. She will be she's on the product marketing team. She will be monitoring the chat and Q&A. So if at any point you have questions, please write in. Sydney will pitch them to me and I will try and swing away and hit them out of the park. And then also on the West Coast, we have our colleague, Jason Maynard. He is our new VP of product. I'm gonna let him introduce himself in a minute. But again, any questions you may have, please write into the chat. Jason, would you like to take it away?
Yeah, thanks, Eli. It's good to be on this call with everybody. I'm really excited to join the Guru team. I joined just about 2 months ago, and it's been really exciting sort of first couple months here. I was at Zendesk before that, so worked a lot with Zendesk knowledge products and of course Guru as a partner, and so really excited to be part of this team now. So just couple things about me. I am a mediocre surfer, although I love it. I am an amateur tiki mug maker, and I love a good tiki bar. So next time you're in San Francisco and you want to stop by our office, we have a new office here. Definitely give me a shout, and happy to run across the street to Pagan Idol, which is a cool tiki bar in our neighborhood. And I'm also a professional cheeseburger eater, which is probably my favorite food. I think one of the questions was when I started was, if you could only have one food on a deserted island, what would it be? And I think my love of cheeseburgers would fade at just about the same rate that probably my heart would stop working from eating all the cheeseburgers. So, and I guess the fun fact that I have is I am also working on a riverside camping club up in the Sierras, which is sort of a community model, a place to sort of get friends, family, and then people who want to come together and fish or do ceramics, garden. We have a permaculture garden up there, and so yeah, it's a cool side project, and hopefully I'll get to share more about that as it comes together and I meet some of you in person. So that is a bit about me.
Awesome, Jason. Thank you so much for sharing. Just for everyone on the line, when a new person starts at Guru, like Jason recently did, we have them fill out a life story card. So these are a couple of pieces of information, pieces of knowledge about Jason. If you want to know his walkout music, that's one of the questions we have on our life story cards, is if you were getting announced at a conference, what would your walkout music be? You can scan that quick QR code in Spotify. It's a Led Zeppelin classic. You can't miss it. But yeah, we're really excited to have Jason on the team. And Jason, thank you so much for introducing yourself. Now, I would love to hear why you're excited about Guru and why you're excited about our most recent launch and our quarterly launch theme.
Yes, definitely. So our quarterly launch theme is really all around collaboration, and I think collaboration really touches on, a huge reason why I always loved working with Guru as both a partner, and now, I feel very honored to be able to say that, we're working on our product together, which is just a really strong product around collaboration. And I think that collaboration really gets at something that Guru does really well, which is sort of like build into our partnerships and our ecosystem. The team that founded Guru all came from a previous startup, Boomi, which was a data integration startup. So, if I think about sort of our superpower as a company, I think about that as being sort of integration across sort of this ecosystem. And that's both on our engineering and product development side, but also we have this amazing partnerships team that helps make sure we're working really closely with our partners like Microsoft and Google and Zendesk and Salesforce and everywhere that we integrate. And I really feel like that's just such a core part of what defines the Guru product and what our customers love about it. And so yeah, that's really the foundation of this launch. You're going to hear a lot about how we integrate across those places and how we think about things like knowledge-centered service and the capabilities around that. How we help your teams sort of live where they work, or sort of work where they live, and team chat or an email, and then making sure that we're not creating another knowledge silo, another destination that just adds a new tab that they have to go to get the work done that they need to do. So that's why I'm really excited about the things in this launch.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing, Jason. If anyone has a question for Jason, please write into the chat. I have two quick questions I want to ask him. So first off, how do you see knowledge management getting more collaborative? We talk a lot about the tech stacks here, but how can we collaborate more on building knowledge and organizing knowledge?
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of that is about bringing knowledge into the places you work. So, I mentioned a couple of these, but, businesses use email to communicate as still sort of the primary form channel that businesses are talking to other businesses. Team chat has obviously sort of exploded with companies like Slack and Microsoft Teams recent launches. And so I think a big part of that collaboration is just really making it easy for teams to both use knowledge where they're working, but then also contribute knowledge back in a really seamless way. And I think we'll talk a little bit about ticket linking and knowledge-centered service as part of that. But I think for support teams, that's a great example of really distributing the ownership of knowledge and making sure the people that are closest to customers, that understand how customers ask questions, that understand the pain points and the gaps in knowledge, they're the ones that are really empowered to contribute back and create that content. So that's how I think that's a big shift. And it's an exciting time to be working on that problem.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for sharing that. And I don't want you to pick any favorites, but for the sake of this question, I want you to pick a favorite. Out of the features that were launched in this quarter, do you have a shining star or something that you think will be a game changer for a lot of our teams?
Yeah, so it's like picking between your children or something. So not something I love to do, and I won't give too much away. But I think something that I'm very passionate about focusing on long term at Guru is search. Search is just such a critical part of the knowledge experience. 40% of all of our views on cards come from customers that are first searching within the app to get knowledge, and that relevancy is such a critical part of a great customer experience. So there's some really cool things that are coming out in this launch around search, and that's something that's just going to continue. We're sort of investing in search and improving relevancy there for the long term. So I think that's what I'm really excited about.
That's awesome. Well, thank you, Jason. I really appreciate you being a part of this and sharing all that knowledge with us. If
Yeah.
anyone has a question for Jason, he will be staying on the line for the duration of this. He can answer your questions through chat, or we can, tackle them at the end, or as if they're feature specific, we can talk about them based off of the features. But to dive into those features now, this is a list of some of the things that we launched over the past quarter. And again, sticking with the Friends theme, 2 thumbs up here. Way to be strong, buddy. We pushed out a lot of things. We're very excited about them. Like Jason said, it helps Guru be more collaborative and play nicer with a lot of the tools that your team is already using. We are going to talk about the top 4 bullets here. I've grouped the first 2 together in the next couple of slides, but the features that we're going to focus on today are verification and tagging of synced content, ticket linking, and the G Suite add-on. There is information available for all of these features on our Help Center, and I'll talk a little bit about our resources for you later on. So I wouldn't throw you into any what's new session without giving you some background. That's like telling you to do calculus when you don't know algebra. So I'm going to give you some background now on syncs. That's the algebra piece here. So what is a sync? Guru's Sync feature allows you to extract content from an external source and populate that content into a read-only collection. So if you are creating a lot of knowledge in Guru and you've realized, oh, I have a folder of assets in Google Drive, or I have an external help center based on Zendesk, and you want to bring that knowledge into your internal knowledge alongside your internal knowledge on Guru, Sync is a great way for you to bring all of these different content sources, these knowledge sources, into one place and allow your Guru users to search internal and external facing information. Where can you sync from? So this is actually a list that I've pulled this straight from the product. This is a list of sync options, opportunities that you can bring knowledge into Guru and have that live alongside the knowledge you've natively created in Guru. Like I said before, this is great for external assets. If you have PDFs or slide decks or one sheets living in Box or Google Drive or Dropbox, if you have product information that your engineers write and that's living in Confluence or living in Zendesk, or if you have Help Center information your customers use via customer, via Zendesk or Salesforce, this is a great way to bring all of that information into Guru and alongside information that you've natively created. So why should you care about that? So like I said before, verification and tagging of synced content are key updates for our knowledge sync. So if you haven't had a chance to check out our sync feature, you can read more here. This link will take you to our Help Center, and it'll walk you through all the different types of knowledge syncs that you can set up for your Guru instance. Again, great way to centralize your information into one source and make it accessible to all of your Guru users. All right, so now you know algebra, and we're gonna get into calculus. That was the quickest, 2 years of high school math that you've ever had before. So now we're going to talk about verification and tagging of sync content. These are key updates to our sync functionality. So verification of sync content allows collection owners, and we talked about that on our last What's New session. Collection owners can set the verifier on knowledge that they are syncing into Guru. So this way, you can verify content from an outside source in Guru so your team knows that it's up to date. Previous to this feature being launched, all content that was synced into Guru didn't have a verification interval. And we heard from a lot of customers that you wanted to be able to assign this verification engine, this verification interval, to the content that wasn't living natively in Guru. So now these 6 icons on the bottom here, you can see that on the bottom left-hand side here, you can see where knowledge is synced and trusted, synced and untrusted in the middle here, and synced with no verification status. This is something that you have to toggle by synced collection. So as you bring in a folder of assets from Google Drive or from Box, you can say, I want to assign a verification interval. And I'll give you a quick demonstration of that in a second. Similar vibes here. Previous to this release, synced content could not be tagged. We didn't want to bring all of your external tags into Guru. So now you can add tagged add tags to content that you sync into Guru. This way, if you have a familiar tagging structure that you want to apply to content that's coming from an external source, you can search that same content with the same, search that content with the same tags. So if you have getting started information that's coming from Guru as well as from Zendesk, you can bring all that information into one place and make it accessible via search using the same tags. So what does that look like in action? Great question. I'll go through this video a couple of times, but in this situation, we're going to set up a synced collection, or we have a synced collection set up, and we want to assign verification to the content here. So it's a synced Zendesk Help Center, and we're going to enable verification of the synced content, where now your team will have to decide who the default verifier should be and what the interval should be for all of these cards. You can change on the card level what that verification interval is, but first you have to turn it on for the entire collection. So now when we click on these cards, you can see that it's verified and synced, and the location at which it was synced from which it was synced. Grammar, I'm working on it. Sydney's over here rolling her eyes at me. Just as you could see the verification interval for this card, you can also add tags to that card. So if you have existing tags around Zendesk for your support team, existing tags around assets for your sales team, this is a great way to add those tags to synced information. So now a quick question for all of you. What knowledge sync are you using? I want to hear from y'all in the chat. We would love to hear, what are the most popular syncs? What are the syncs that you haven't had a chance to use and you want to use? So post quickly in the chat here, and then we'll keep it moving for the sake of time.
Confluence.
A Confluence. That's good to hear. What information are you syncing over from Confluence, out of curiosity? This is the sort of thing where I would love to share information with the rest of the group here. A couple synced in from Zendesk for external help centers.
Mm-hmm.
Product documentation from Confluence.
Confluence soon.
Start syncing Confluence real soon. I love to see it. Syncing Google Drives like Docs and Sheets, Zendesk and Confluence. Awesome. Yeah, those are from my experience with our customers, those tend to be the top three, Zendesk, Confluence, and Google Drive. If you have other tools like Box or Customer or Dropbox or Salesforce, please, try out those syncs, see if they're, what you're looking for, and bring that information into Guru so your team doesn't have to check more than one location for the same information. So a couple of quick FAQs here. Do all synced collections require verification? No. Like I said before, you can toggle this by collection, and you can manage that in your team's users and collections page. So if you have Help Center documentation that is maintained in Zendesk, and you don't want to throw that verification of synced content onto it, don't worry about it. You don't have to toggle it on for that team. However, you can still tag that content, and I highly recommend that you do tag that content because it'll help your users with search. Speaking of tags, will tags from synced content be brought into Guru from the source application? Nope, we don't want to clutter your tags. We know you might have taken, a day or so to set up a tagging structure. We don't want to make that all messy, so we don't bring external tags in. We allow you to apply Guru tags to that synced content. Sydney, just a quick check of the chat. Anybody writing in any questions?
No questions, just everyone's excited about sync.
Awesome, glad to hear it. So if you have any questions about sync, throw them in the chat, happy to answer them there. But moving along swiftly, Jason mentioned this feature a couple of times. This is called ticket linking. So just to tell you a little bit more about ticket linking, what can you do with ticket linking? So if you're a support team and you're using a chat or a ticketing tool, this allows you to link Guru cards to solve support tickets through the browser extension. If you're familiar with content performance, it's a sales feature. It allows you to attribute knowledge to sales opportunities. I like to think of this as like the attribution feature for support tickets and support cases, situations, that sort of thing. This way you can give proper attribution to what knowledge was helpful in solving a customer's issue. So any knowledge that's in Guru, whether it's synced from an external source or natively in Guru, this is a way for you to say, hey, I solved this ticket and this was the knowledge that was helpful. And to give you a quick demonstration of that, we have another pre-recorded video. So in this situation, someone wrote in for password help, and the agent is going up to search for changing or resetting your password. Now, what you see here in the bottom left-hand corner, let's enhance on that real quick. Guru is recognizing, and this is a setting that you have to turn on in your team settings page. Guru is recognizing that you're using this card, you're using this knowledge over your ticketing system, and it wants you to link that knowledge to that ticket. So when you're using Guru over your ticketing system, you can select this box here to link it to the ticket, and then go ahead, copy the card content, send it via the chat, and be able to solve that ticket faster, but also attribute that knowledge to that ticket solution. Now, what's happening here is going to, I just need to move the Zoom thing out of my way for a second. When you go into your preferences on your extension and you click ticket linking reports, that's where you can see what knowledge was linked to that specific ticket. So I'm sorry about that, some technical difficulties. All right, so going behind your avatar, clicking on ticket linking reports, you can see specific to that, the number of that ticket, what knowledge was used to solve that customer problem. Yeah, Sydney.
Eli, we have 2 questions from the audience.
Okay.
On ticket linking. So first off, will ticket linking be branching out to other ticketing platforms?
That is a good question. At the moment, we are open to hearing what ticketing platforms you would like ticket linking to work on. I have an answer as to which ticketing platforms ticket linking works for. It's a lot of redundant terms. I'll get to that in a second, but that's a very good question. I have another question for you. How does your team currently track use of knowledge on support tickets? We're trying to make this easier for you, but we want to know, how do you currently, accomplish this sort of attribution when it comes to support knowledge? We don't. That's very, very honest. I really appreciate that. And hopefully you can see that kind of that value out of using Guru's ticket linking feature now. A Guru dashboard shows which tickets are most accessed. That's good. Using Guru Analytics definitely helps understanding, what knowledge is popular. Tracking done by manual categorization of tickets. Okay. We track macro use in Zendesk, but not in Guru. Definitely interested in ticket linking. Love to hear it. Ticket linking works with tickets. I know that's one of them. The other one is Live Person. But yes, if you want to see it specific to your ticketing system, let us know in the chat right now so that we can log it for our feedback. We're lucky enough to have Jason on the call here, and he's our product leader here. He can take a look at that and dig into some of the use cases here. Ticket linking for Salesforce cases. Oh yeah, I forgot we launched that, but we call it it's case linking instead of tickets. True. Okay, so what ticketing systems does this work for? Ticket linking works for Zendesk and Live Person. The last time I edited this deck content, we didn't have Salesforce linking, but we do have it now. If you want to see it elsewhere, let us know in the chat. Where can I see what cards I use for ticket linking? We showed this in the demonstration. Click on your extension, go into your avatar, and then click ticket linking reports. And can I pull a full report of all cards used on all tickets? Yes, you can. That's through our API that you can pull that information, and that information is available on our developer site. Highly recommend pulling that information. That'll help you understand your support knowledge and how your knowledge is attributable for tickets. We've heard this request from a lot of different customers in terms of like pulling that information and getting that attribution. If you would like to, if you know the API isn't something that you're familiar with and you'd like to see it in a different way, let us know in the chat. We want to hear that feedback. We want to be able to prioritize that as well. A couple more chats coming in.
Yep,
I see.
Question. Will ticket linking help agents by showing which Guru card was helpful for this type of ticket?
That's a very good question. At the moment, I don't think that is built into the functionality, but it is a way for your team, especially as you pull a full report of cards used on tickets and the types of tickets that they're used for. When you pull a full report and you see like, okay, for every password ticket that comes in, this one password card is used over and over again. That's something that then you can use knowledge triggers or AI suggest or even pin the card to your ticketing solution so that you can say, all right, this is a very popular, very frequently used card that helps my support agents answer this one question over and over again. I highly recommend looking into AI suggest in this situation because that way Guru can make the suggestion of that popular card. And there's more information about that on our help center. So I would check that out there. More questions?
A couple more sources, some feedback. So customer, Kayako, and Jira.
Awesome. Love to hear it. Thank you so much for the feedback. You know, keep it coming. It's like drinking from a fire hose, but it's like the best water. So I really appreciate it. All right. Google Suite Add On. Just want to be mindful of time. We have about 15 minutes. So Google Suite Add On. What is it and what can you do with it? This add-on works specifically in Gmail, and this allows you to create cards straight from Gmail. This way you don't have to go out of your workflow to add information from Gmail into Guru, and it makes it easier I said that already. It makes it easier to not go out of your workflow. You can stay in Gmail. If that's a familiar workflow for you, this is a good way for you to add information into Guru. Now how this works, and I'll give you a download link for this add-on, but in this situation, Nico has responded to Jeff, and Jeff wants to add this information into Guru. Now this G at the bottom of this, what would you call it? This Google bar, this Google sidebar, that allows you to add knowledge from your email into Guru. And when you click it, you'll see that you're assigned the verifier. You choose a collection. This video, sorry about that. You can choose a collection as well as a verification interval. And then Guru will read that information and take it into the card creation process, which if you're an author, you're familiar with. So choosing the collection here in the verification interval. And then you would click send to Guru. Now, when you click send to Guru, you should then click open card, and that will open the card in Guru in the web app for you to then save and verify. This is all content that came straight from an email. This is a great way to quickly take email content and add it into Guru. This is an easy way to keep your knowledge base dynamic as you run into more and more of these situations. So if you're a G Suite team, let us know. And we want to know what G Suite product do you use the most? Are you heavy Gmail users, heavy Google Doc users, Google Sheets? I recently learned about Google Drawing. That was something that one of our engineering teams was using. Let us know in the chat. We'll give you a couple quick shout outs. We got Docs, Sheets, Gmail, Google Keep, Docs and Sheets. All right. Yeah, a quick sidebar about Docs and Sheets, more specifically Docs. If you haven't heard of our Knowledge Clipper feature, and that is a feature that allows you to highlight text on a web page and then either search for it in Guru or add that information into Guru as a card. That's a great way to take information from Google Docs or Google Sheets and add that into Guru natively if that's something that you're looking to do. Again, more information on that in the Help Center.
Eli, we had a question on, can we sync Google Slides?
Yes, you can sync Google Slides. The way that would work is that you would go into your Google Drive and choose the folder of the slides that you want to bring into Guru, and that would bring those slides into Guru and create cards for them, which then you can assign tags and verification intervals to. Very timely. Game changer. I love to see that. I love to hear that. Yeah, more information on our help center about that, but glad that can help your team. All right, moving forward with some of these FAQs. Where can I download this wonderful add-on at your friendly neighborhood G Suite Marketplace? This bit.ly link will take you to that G Suite Marketplace. It's bit.ly/guru-G Suite. I know that sounds like a mouthful. It's way easier to type. So if you go to that link, that'll direct you to the Guru download for the G Suite add-on. Does this work with the rest of my team's Google Suite, Docs, Sheets, Calendar, etc.? As of now, no. Let us know where you want Guru and Google to work best together in the chat. This first launch was specific for Gmail. We definitely want to hear other use cases of bringing Docs and Sheets and Calendar into Guru, just to understand your use case and understand what you're looking to accomplish, so that maybe we can help you solve that problem. Any questions coming up in the chat? Sid the Kid?
No.
No? Cool. All right, we are moving along swiftly. We're going to have plenty of time for questions. The last thing that I am going to demo is two quick search enhancements, actually. So if you've been using, I'm going to pop out of presenter mode. If you've been using the Guru extension over the past couple of weeks, you've probably noticed two main enhancements to specifically the search bar. So when I'm going to open the Guru extension, and if you haven't downloaded the Guru extension, I highly recommend it. It is like the backbone of my day-to-day workflow. So I'm going to open the Guru extension. Always is finicky with me. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is recent searches. And now when you click into the search bar, you can see I've been looking for my discount code, but you can see the last search terms that you recently searched for. So I was looking for the hex codes for Guru, I was looking for our values, I was looking for a product tour video. This is a good way for me to quickly get back to the information that I was searching for previously. I also recommend favoriting cards in this situation. So if you have recent searches that you type in time and time again, this is a great way to identify which cards are your favorites and favorite them there. Favorites are indicated by the heart in the top right-hand corner of the card. And the other search enhancement I want to talk about is title search. So if you frequently use keywords to search for knowledge in Guru, we've made it easier to access cards based off of their titles when you're doing a keyword search. So I'm going to look for my Empower discount code, and if I know what it is by heart. So if you are coming to Empower, or you're interested in coming to our Empower conference in May, you can use the code ELIP for 25% off your Empower ticket. I know conferences feel shaky right now. I have faith that we'll be okay, and we would love to see you there. So I'm going to search for our Empower discount codes. So when I search for Empower discount here, you see that there's 3 top title matches. So this will get me to my information that much quicker. This is without even clicking enter. Guru is understanding based off of the titles of these cards what information I am looking for based off of these keywords as well. So that's title search in action. It feels very natural. If you've ever typed into Google, like, how do I, and then it drops, 7 different recommendations of exactly what you were looking for. Think of that as the same sort of situation for Guru and for your internal knowledge.
An audience member question.
All right.
How does that handy title search thing impact analytics? Will it capture anything typed there as a search?
So it, because you don't click enter, it technically doesn't count as a search. However, when you view that card, when you do click on that card, it counts as a view. So that'll help you with understanding what are your popular cards and how your users are getting to it. If you are seeing one card be extremely popular, but the search is producing results, that term isn't the top of the list, that'll help you know that title search is impacting the way in which users find that information. Same kind of goes in the opposite direction. If you have one card that is consistently looked for and it's the top of the search is producing results, but your team can't seem to find it, maybe you should rethink the way in which your cards are titled, and maybe you should think about the way in which your team can get to that information quicker by using title search. Any other questions, Sid?
No other questions.
All right, cool. So that was a lot, but we launched a few more things in this quarterly launch. I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty about for these today, but I'll give you a quick highlight. We launched an Outlook add-in. If you are in a Microsoft shop and you use Outlook for email, you now have the ability to add Guru into your Outlook experience and be able to search and find information in Guru within Outlook, as well as copy cards and share information from Guru to your to people that you talk with through using email. So that's the first thing. The second thing here, public cards. We've now enabled our users to toggle what collections can have public cards. So if you have external facing collateral that you send out frequently via email and you just want to send them a public card, that's a great collection to turn on that public card feature. If you have internal information that you never want to send publicly and you never want to send as a public card, that's a great use case for turning off the public card feature. So, take that as you will. You understand your use case best. I would also recommend working with your customer success manager to design, what collection should have public cards, what collections should not. This is just something to think about for sharing internal knowledge externally. Finally, we launched collection frameworks. So if you've recently created a collection in Guru and you saw that familiar flow of like start from scratch or pick a pre-populated template, pre-populated collection framework. This way, as you're adding new teams to your Guru instance and you want to give them a demonstration of what their knowledge structure should look like, what types of information, what types of cards will be within their Guru collection, this will prompt your team in the right direction. So feel free to check those out. If you have any feedback on those, we would love to hear that, hear what's working or what's not working about collection frameworks and directing you to organize your knowledge in the best possible way. All right, I mentioned customer success managers before. I'm going to mention all of the resources that are available for you right now. So as always, our help center is at help.getguru.com. It's updated weekly, so feel free to use that as like the Guru Bible for all information around setting up your Guru team, any sort of technical information. If you need those API docs, you can get there from the help center, but I recommend you go to our developer site first. If you need any support, you can chat with us through the chat with us icon in both your browser extension behind your avatar, as well as in the web app, or you can email support@getguru.com. It all goes to the same place. So either way will work. And if you have a customer success manager, reach out to your CSM. They'll help think about, they know your use case as well as you do most times. So they'll help you think about how you can best leverage some of the features that came out in this most recent launch. All right, that is it. That was a mouthful. That was a whole lot, but that is it for me. If you have any questions for myself or for Sydney or for Jason, please let us know in the chat or send it through Q&A, whichever is a familiar workflow for you, and we'd love to answer them. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being, some of the Guru power users across the globe and across the country. And we look forward to seeing how you use some of these features in the upcoming days, months, weeks, what have you.